Hey guys, how's it going? I am helping someone set up a new shop, and with that, I'm gathering some pieces that I have connections to, and one of them was this. I need compressed air over there. And I had another friend that bought a building with all its contents, and I remember seeing a compressor sitting inside there, and said, "Hey, what are you doing with that? You want to get rid of it?" And he said yes. So we picked it up. They never ran it on their end, so it looked fairly decent, and that's all you can kind of really go by. There was no power in the building to turn anything on. So we grabbed it. I figured a new one's like $500. We bought from $250. He was happy with that. Unfortunately, we put a plug on the end of it and went to go fire it up. And I'll show you what the outcome of that was. Safety third. I wouldn't exactly try plugging them in while that's live. So I'm going to plug it in from across the room into the wall. And hopefully they make enough contact to go and run and show you what the deal is. Ready? Let's see what happens. Noise alert! So, that's what the deal is. She's got a rod knocked pretty bad. And what we think happened was the warehouse was empty for a long time, and this probably had power to it, and then whatever air was connected to it ended up having a leak, and it just ran and ran and ran. And if you look, you can see there's oil stains kind of running down the side of it, and it probably pushed all the oil out of the compressor head, and to the point where it ran without oil, same as running an engine without oil. It blew up. And if you look at the leads right here, you can see that they got real hot. The motor seems like it's okay. You know, I don't see any baking of the windings or anything. They all look fairly decent. But the compressor head is junk. So, a couple things. You can either tear that one down and see what happened to it. You might still do that. I do have two compressor heads that I grabbed at a yard sale, of course, in Florida, like 6-7 years ago. Don't know if they're going to be able to fit on this setup, but I think we should try, see if we can bring it back to life. So let me get some stuff set up and we'll see what we can do. So, dug out from the hoard is this guy. I think it had beans. So it looks close to the size of that one. I see the outlet at least is in the same direction as that one is. That one points down. And I don't know about width. I'd say they're probably fairly close to each other. So I'd say we get the fan guard off of there, get the pulley off. We'll take that compressor head right off and we'll stick it down next to that one and we'll eyeball it, have a better idea. Play that guy next. Reverse thread. That would have got me. Thought I flipped it the other direction. I don't know what the shaft size is going to be on that. It's the same. Actually, yeah, that pulley's definitely different size. Let's get behind with a pry bar. I have a feeling we're probably going to need a puller before I go do that. You know, if I put a puller on, it'll come right off. try one last angle of a prep bar. That one you can't really get in there. Boom. Puller. See how that works for us. That ain't catching by much. Yeah. That one's not gonna do it. It's hard to get. The fins get in the way of getting a straight shot around it. Let's go try that again. We're in. Yeah, that wasn't going to come off, but it probably was. Doesn't even have a key. Just uses the press fit of it to hold it. Nothing wrong with that compressor head. Yeah, let's get that unbolted from there and get it off the bench. Well, I can tell you that that weighs 5 pounds. That weighs 20 pounds. That's probably cast and that's all aluminum. We are not going to be able to use the pulley over because I believe that that is not a tapered shaft on that one, whereas that one is. But I don't see that great of a difference in it. It'll run it faster. Yeah. So it'll actually run the pump faster as long as the electric motor can keep up. If it can't, then I have to do a pulley change on the generator tube. I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. Like rapping record. Let's unbolt the wood from this and let's see even if the bolt pattern will sit up on that and how stuff kind of lines up. Will this pulley line up with the other one and that kind of thing. Well, we should get that plastic guard out of our way maybe for now, just so we can kind of see how things do. Yeah, let's go pop that out of there. What we got? 4 screws. Let's go grab that off the bench. See how well things will line up. Hopefully. Those 2 holes look like they'll line up. I don't think the other ones are though. Not that we can't drill new ones, right? Yeah, it's much thinner front to back. I think. Let's go grab a bolt and throw it in there just for. Actually, I don't think the bolts are going to fit in either. I think those holes are smaller. Yeah. Let's eyeball them to the outer 2. And I know I could adjust this pulley in and out, probably the same with that one. It's not terribly far off. I think we can get away with it. The one thing I do have a question about though is which way that motor spins. I'm looking at the arrow on that. That's saying it runs that way. I thought that one went the other direction. That's not a good. Will the compressor run both directions? Well, it would run, if it runs, so it runs this way for cooling so the air can blow across that, right? I said we plug that in. I believe that's going to run clockwise though. Is there an arrow on it? No. And even if we took the pulley off and flip it around, it's the same thing, right? I think we just go for it, see what happens. See if we can get a couple bolts for it. Come up with a belt. We got a decent amount of slide on the motor to play with. Hey, let's just try it, see what happens. Yeah, we are definitely going to have to loosen up that pulley Get it to go that way. Go loosen that set screw and see if we can get her to tap in a little bit. Actually, it looks like it's kind of looks like it's kicked a little this way too, but I guess we might have some slide on that motor. Gotta dig up a belt too. So you get chances that the original belt will fit. Doubting it, but we might be able to get that with the play. Maybe. Yeah, see, that'll snug up for us. Alright. Still got to move that over. And how many are yelling at me that to check the oil? I'm pretty sure it doesn't have anything in it, so we got to put oil in it yet. And I'm not quite sure what. I see that as a breather. I don't know if that's the fill also. But let's get the pulley squared away first. Hopefully it'll move for us. Maybe we could tap that off of there, maybe clean up the... Now that I hammered it on, right? That's probably not a good idea. I got the puller already out. So I'm going to go set that up. I'm going to go take the puller off. I'm going to go clean that up. And the wire wheel. And get that back on there so it slides a little easier. Yeah, let's go wrestle with that. Should need the impact. See if we can do it by hand. Now that I said that, I'll need the impact. A little gummy. Sometimes too on the set screws. They'll have a set screw with another set screw in behind it. So the first one locks the second one, you know what I mean? That's it. I'm gonna go clean those surfaces up. It's rusty behind it, so I didn't want to drive it over the rust. Let's go fix that. Yeah, you can see that rust there too. Noise alert. Like a nice polished shaft. You know what I mean? Roll this out in the open, we can see a little bit better. Let's go give her a little bit of that. Let's see. It was like that, wasn't it? That's a little better. Eyeball down it. Oh, it's got some wiggle room. That's looking. Looking a little too far. Let's go for right there. I can't put a straight edge on it because this is fatter than the other. I mean, you could, but I'm thinking that looks actually fairly decent. let's throw the belt on, tighten it up. I think this thing sat for a little while. It's got mold growing on the belt. I think a couple of RPMs should take care of that, though. That looks pretty good. Still looks like it can go in a little, but we can fine tune that later. I'm going to tighten that up. Let's go get some oil in it just to fire it up and see what we get, you know. We might be doing all this for nothing. Let's go pop that drain plug out. See what we got. I seem to remember there was a tag being on it saying that they were empty. Maybe not. It's definitely clean. So we got to go figure out what that fill is. I don't know if that vent has a, because there's no sight glass in it, you know. That vent has a dipstick on it, maybe. Let's just go grab right at it and see what we get. Oh, yeah. Yes, it does. The oil is so clean it's hard to say what it's got. I'm gonna go wipe that down. I think it's okay. I'm gonna double check on that and make sure that it has what it's supposed to have. Yeah, the oil level looked fine. That's good. I say we fire it up, see what we get for rotation. I'm not quite sure on that. And as long as it blows air out of this side instead of the other side, we should be good. If not, then we got an issue. All right, I'm gonna go plug it in from afar, see what happens. Nothing. I have to wiggle my wires around. Nothing like anticipation, right? I'm too chicken to do it while it's live, so. Let's maybe. Do an edit. That one. The white one doesn't want to play well. Come on. Is third time the charm? Should I jam him in with a screwdriver and a hammer? Sounds like a plan to me. The guy's like, well, what is he doing? I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm trying to get these guys to play well. I'm coming over here and physically touching them. Want to try that? And I'm going over here. I'm plugging it into the wall. Come on. I might want to bolt it down. Better. I got 2 and 2. It was working. I'll set you up. We'll do it again. I don't know why it wasn't working. Well, the wires came right off. Not very much left of that at all. Let me go give that a better crimp. The whole connector's kind of crappy. Yeah, that vibrated right off and shut it off. It was getting no power. They're all like that. They all got baked. Let me go see if I could assist that up for now and move forward. Let's see, what's this? Third time? Third time the charm? Going the right direction. Air's blowing out that side. We need to get everything bolted up, drill 2 holes for the compressor so we can bolt the compressor down right. I don't know what we have to do to try to make this connection to actually go into the tank, and then we can fill the tank up. See how well that holds there. See how it does too as far as letting it run up to pressure and then come down to where it kicks back on again, and making sure that it's got enough snot to start back up when it's got a lot of load on it. Try getting down there with a marker. Marker's back 2 holes. That wasn't happening. So we mark them like that. So let's go take this off and we'll work on it over on the bench instead of trying to work up here to get that fitting first matched up to it, and then, you know, try to make a bend so it works. Yeah, that. Let's see if any of those threads are even remotely close. This is the fitting that was on there. Yeah, that's not the right. This is a flare. That one's a. Is the thread the same? No. So I got to go hunting in the hoard, figure out some way to get. I wonder if that's the right diameter for that. If we just cut the flare off, you know. I'm going to take a caliper and see if those 2 are the same. Yeah, but again, just cut that right off and put the knurled fitting on it and go with it. I like to try to actually maybe find an elbow though. Yeah, see if we can get them. Actually, we don't even really care about the closed number. We're just going to use it as a depth gauge, right? And a width gauge. A little bit of play, but it should have a little bit of play as it gets tighter as it goes up. So if we close that up on it, it might go. And back in the alternate stash of miscellaneous is we have this pile. Uh-oh. Now we did it. Down. I don't see any elbows. What about? Let me know if you see a good elbow. Seems like most of them look like that, right? I guess we could run the Home Depot. Let's hunt a little further though. No, huh? We need a male-female setup too. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I'm gonna take a couple more minutes. I'll look in the rest of my stash in here and see what we find. And it's not even the $8 to go get it. It's just the fact that you got to get in your car and drive down the street, go in the store and find it, and the half hour you kill doing it. So hopefully that. Yeah. Screw under there. That can screw under there. That gets us facing downward the way we want, and we still have to cut one end off and flare it to get that piece on there. Hopefully that works. Or else I'm screwed. But I'm going to set it back up there so I have an idea where that tubing needs to line up and where we need to cut it and fit it and all that kind of happy stuff. Looks like we got to bend it over still, but I'd say I think you're probably right. Right at the bottom of that right now, right? right where we cut it. Even a little higher. Ever get a noise that drives you nuts? Fixed. Yeah, we'll shoot a little high on that mark. It's right there. Go for right there. Better too long than too short, right? There's a joke there somewhere. And we should probably clean up all that crap that's on there too. You can tell this thing got hot, huh? That's the thing. This pipe, when you compress air gets very hot. That's why you don't see a piece of plastic going from the compressor head back. I'm gonna go clean that up, get our ferrule on there, and see if we can get a good crimp on that. One thing I did notice is that we're going to come real close to the fill vent, the fill and the vent. We're going to run that home, and hopefully the whole assembly tightens up. And if it does, then we can loosen it and rotate it to what we need, and we might end up putting a little bit of a kink on it, get it up and away from there. But I want to see if it takes a crimp first. I guess you call it a crimp. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. Good. I'm gonna go set that back up on there and do a little fudge-a-ludging into place. Actually doesn't look too bad. We're probably, I don't know, we could pull that down into place. But I want to take it back off and see if I can get like a little bit of a service bend and kick that away about a ½ inch away from that. It's right up against it right now. And yeah. Then we might have to bend it. That'll make it a little on the taller side too. So I might have to bend that down a little. We'll get it. We'll keep bending until we get it. The reason why this is in here too, this loop, the service loop, got a lot of vibration, and to help dampen some of the, if you just went a straight shot right down to it, it will have a tendency to crack, like right there and right on the other end. So if you put a bit of a loop in it, it has some place for the vibration to go. Copper, all metals, but copper too, the more it vibrates over time, it gets harder and harder and harder, and eventually it will crack. So just manhandle it. A little deeper. That should be more than enough, huh? As long as we can get it out. Yeah, it won't spill. Yeah, we can get it out. Actually, that's not plastic, that's metal. Still. Well, I think we're ready to fire it up. It's all hooked together. So this switch, what it does is it reads pressure coming off the tank. It's got a little line on it. Where is it? There it is. It's got a little line on it, and when pressure gets to a certain amount, it fires. Actually, this might be a dump. I'm not quite sure on that. Anyway, the pressure gets to a certain level. It's got a diaphragm in it. It clicks the contacts from, right now you can see the close. What will happen is, as the pressure builds, it'll just open the circuit up and it shuts power off. And as the pressure goes back down again, it makes contact again. You can do a little bit of adjustment on it right here, kind of the high and low, by how much tension it gets put on that preload pad. I think this is actually a dump, and what that is, when it opens the circuit, it purges a little bit of air that is accessing it, so that when it goes to start up, it's not starting with air against the head. I think that's how it works. I'm not positive of that though. Let's get set up. We'll get fired up. Hopefully, it'll run to about, I don't know, what, 120 was it say? Can't read it. Anyway, between 130 and 150, probably 120. This is like an older one, and we'll see what it shuts off at, if it shuts off at. Wish us luck. Shall we? sounds pretty good. Oops. Stepped on the cord. Hold on. I knocked the wire out. I stepped on it. Let's see how it's doing now while it's off. Got 20 pounds in it. I don't hear any hissing anywhere. That's good. All right. Let me go fix that and run it. Well, it's shut off at 120. My concern is it might be just all that crap burning off that pipe. It's never run. Or it's just running it way too hot, running it way too fast. I see it pushing oil out of the breather too. So, not happy to see that. Yeah, right at just a hair on the 120. I say we let the, I'm gonna let it cool down a minute. That might be a fail. Let it cool down, and we're going to dump the air on it and see if it has enough to go fire back up. It may have been meant for a smaller compressor, not a 5-horse. Again, who knows? There's no tags on it. I really don't have anything to go by. It's starting to slowing down pretty fast as far as the smoke. It might have been just all the crap and oil that was on top of it. I should probably put a wrench on them too and see if they're tight. Yeah, those two valve caps were not down all the way. I don't know if they kind of pissed a little bit of oil onto the top and caused it to leak. More of my concern is it's coming out of the breather and down. You know, that means it's got blow by and it's pushing it out of the crankcase. Like I said, when I grabbed that at the yard sale, the gentleman had passed away. So it wasn't like I could ask him anything. It was a estate sale, so I grabbed. There's actually two of them. One of them a little smaller one than this for $10 a piece. I said, I'll try them. And the rings might be just seating too, so we can kind of cycle it a couple times. But it stopped smoking fairly quickly, and hopefully it was just the oil burning off of it. It's only been 2 minutes since it stopped. So I say we go dump the air in it, and we'll let the pressure come down. We'll see at what point it comes on. it's just a pipe burning. And again, I know that gets hot. This gets real hot. You can see most of the smoke is coming off of that, a little bit on the top. I think maybe probably cycle it a few times. I'm gonna let it cool down and cycle, and we'll keep kind of checking on it. Might be okay. Yeah, a little iffy about it, but we're into it for 58 bucks so far. 68 bucks, so 10 bucks for the cylinder head. So again, worst case scenario is this: you buy another compressor and you sister the two tanks together. So instead of having a 60-gallon capacity, you have a 120-gallon capacity. So you have a much longer reserve of air. Make sense? No. Yes. Now that I'm thinking of it, the other one had a larger pulley on it. Because it has a larger pulley on it, it allowed it to spin slower. You know, so if it took you, say the old pulley took 1.5 feet of belt to make a circle, and this pulley's smaller, it only takes 1 foot of belt to turn it. This is still turning at the same speed. This is spinning faster. So I have a feeling we're just I don't know, maybe we're about 10 or 20% a little too fast on the RPMs. Again, we'll still cycle a little bit, but we could fix that by changing this pulley. I might even have something in my stash, knock this down, maybe a 1-inch size, get us into a little bit better realm. I wouldn't say it's, I mean, it's hot. It's not like hot enough where you can't. Yeah, we'll cycle it a couple more times, because the downside of that is the smaller you go on that pulley, the longer it's going to take to recover to just a slower. Yeah, it's operating slower. You know, it's just not doing as much work. So we'll find it. How about we go spy on what we have for a combination over here? I would say that one looks to be about the same that we have on the setup we got. Can we sneak in there and see? This thing's bolted to the floor, so it's not like I can really pull it away. Hard to see in there. Yeah, so I thought, let's see if we could get in there and see. Some light might help. Hold on. Get in there. So you can see that one is a heck of a lot smaller than the other one. And the back pulley, it's about the same size as what we have on there. So that's the deal. It's running it way too fast. So we gotta cut that front pulley down. And I went back in my stash of pulleys and I found that. I would say that would ought to slow it down a little bit, huh? Might be just the right ticket. I'm gonna go clean that up. I don't know if that belt's gonna be able to sacrifice, be sufficient anymore. I gotta go check the hoard for something that'll fit that too. Not that I have something against buying a belt, but I'd rather get it dialed in before we start, you know, buying stuff that's just for testing purposes. So what do you think our chances are? We'll find one of those that can fit. And yes, we have a belt on there. Let's go dump some air on it, let it fire back up. It seems like it's holding fine. I'm not quite sure how good that gauge is. We'll put another one on it too, and an adjustable regulator. But let's purge. Might want to go a little tighter. Just saying. Yeah, that belt's wore out. It's really thin. Let's go try one that's a little fatter. It's not touching the sides. It's just running on the center of it. All right, new belt. See what we get. Sounds a little better. It's got a little black hose that has a leak in it. But I got the pressure. You hear it hissing when it was coming out. I think it likes that much better. Not even smoking. Not pushing oil out the breather anymore neither. Yeah, good. I'm happy with that. That ought to make it so she's a longevity of a machine. I hope. Seems to like that a lot better, but it is still leaking on this fitting. I tried tightening it up. I think what happened was I was sliding the motor forward and back, and this is a copper line, not plastic. And it pushed up against this, and I could see a very slight crack right over there. I tried tightening this up. I thought the leak was between these two, but it's very tiny, but you could hear it hissing a little, and it doesn't leak when it stops. But you'll probably be able to get that part of it. Seems fine now. Should probably wipe it down and make sure that the oil level's up nice and high, and run it, you know, maybe from 0 back all the way up again, and make sure that there's no issues on that full startup. I've done 5 cycles now with dumping the valve, you know, down to 80 psi, and it comes back up again, and it seems to be okay. But I'd like to give it a little bit more through its paces. One more time all the way. And if it does that, then I think that pulley size is going to be fine. The one on the other one's even smaller, but I think that might get us in the right realm. I don't know. I'm just making it up as we go along. You say we blow out the bottom, see how much water we get. I can't turn it. I gotta get something on that. You know, repair my scripts. I would suspect that is going to go for a while. I'm going to go get a pan. Think you want to go pee? When you compress air, it pushes the water out of it too. So that's why the tanks fill up, and then it rots the inside of the tank out. So that's the other part of it. I'll let you know how many it takes. I filled it up halfway 2 times because I got to be able to get it out of there. So I would say that filled that bowl up once, probably about 3/4 of a gallon. Got lighter. I like that a lot better. Went through its full cycle. Still burn off a little bit of oil, I believe, on top, which it should. Nothing like it was before. I think it'll be just fine. It's not pushing anything out of the oil breather. That looks fine. I did top it off very little bit. You know, an ounce maybe I put in it. So I say that's going to survive. We'll run it like that for a while, see how he likes it, and has an issue, then we'll move on, like we said, making it a sister tank and getting another compressor. But I think it might be okay. It might be a good setup. So guys, lights flashing. Oh, thank all you. I think I'm gonna go cut this one short right here. Cut it short. Cut it right here. I was gonna do the other compressor and tear it down to see what the deal is with it as far as what failed. But maybe we'll make that on a separate video. Put a comment in it if you want to see that tore apart. Fine. If not, that's fine. Either way, let me know, and maybe we'll make a video of that. But for this one, I think we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna put the plastic covers back on it and call it a day on this. Guys, I want to thank you for kind of hanging out in the garage with me and trying to fix stuff. So until the next one, I will see you later. Bye, guys. Am I supposed to sound like that?